must be satellite. Don't believe in life.
Thanks, Vesna, and welcome back to our Sunday gathering. Before we start, please reach out to your tens and invite them to join us. And if you are able, please turn your cameras on so we may see your smiling faces. Now, with our opening intention, John?
Morning, friends. Taken from Balaha Salam, letter number 52. So it says, call upon him when he is near. That is, when you call on the Creator to bring you closer to him, know that he is already near you. For otherwise, there is no doubt that you would not be calling him. This is also the meaning of the verse, before they call, I will answer, meaning that if you are calling him, then he has already turned to you to give you the awakening to call upon him. Line, friends.
Thanks, John. Now, our special guests. As you know, there are many teams that support our organization behind the scenes. One of these teams produces Rav's blog. To help us understand the work, please give a warm welcome to Irina, Galina, and Iva. Are one of our friends going to start us?
Iva, would you please start our presentation?
Galina.
Really? I thought I was going to be last.
Yeah,
No.
Galina will start, but she put 00 in front of her name.
It's there. I saw it.
Oh, excellent.
Okay, thank you. So the thing is that we are presenting again our work in the Rav's blog in English. You know that Rav's blog exists in many languages, and many of them start from English blog. And our main member, who working is very hard, Beth Shillington. She is our lovely boss. She put so much time in her work. I would actually, with all my heart, to thank her for that work she does. She works with the editors, with the people who prepare the text, with the all other many small works we do for the blog. She makes it smooth, and she's center of our blog. And this is I'd like to strengthen her work as the core of blog Rav in English. Thank you, Beth. We are so proud to work under your directions, and search every time, look for your help, for your guidance, for everything. Thank you very much. So now our Arvut team asks us to take more about that blog. And I'd like to tell also that Beth, for her work, for whole life of the blog, she made more than 50,000 posts. Can you imagine? 50,000 posts. It's tremendous work. And she not only makes, it's also teamwork, but her final steps, she is such a wonderful boss and the team member. She consolidates our team. She works and make it smooth and productive. She's always with her laptop and at all congresses. I'm sure she worked before. I saw her working before this meeting, and I'm sure she will be working in that blog after. And she does it for years. We'll show you, as we asked by our Wood team, to show a little bit more details of our work, how we work daily, how we produce that materials to be available for the people over the world. This is great dissemination. And we so we let you know how each post is made and how many efforts put in that post, like to make it final in its good shape. Guess what? How many? If you see one post, guess how many people touch that before you see it? And the answer is 7 people at least made some effort on creating this post before it appears on the blog. And Irina shows you greater details of the whole process, so you know the links and what is the behind the scenes and so on. Please.
I'm sure everybody of you know this link for the RAV blog, but probably not everybody knows this button for personal RAV's blog. And this is where all our post appears, what we are talking about. I'm going to put in the chat the link for this post, but let's do and find out how it's created. First of all, we take a text of the post from RAV blog in Russian and putting in this simple Google document. And it's created with each post every day. After that, we're giving this link to translators. And translators translating with and taking all of that small words need to find the right source where this quote is. And after we adding related materials, categories, and very important is number, because this number matching Russian post, and I'm sure it's matching Spanish as well. Like if you know, for example, number, you can find the post later in the blog. And after that, it's coming to editors. Editor, each of them looking for the spelling mistake, whatever editor is supposed to do, and coming back to Galina.
Thank you, Ira. Yeah, now we have edited post. It's still raw. It's still not ready for the blog. This is my work starting. I put this edited text into the blog RAV as a draft for Beth to do final verification. She has many things on that. I'm not even sure all of them, but I know for sure that she has to ensure that post looks good, that I didn't miss any italics. I do, by the way, she sometimes make me like typing me in the WhatsApp, you did that, please correct, and so on. Or probably I missed to put the categories or something. Sometimes I do 10 or 20 drafts at once and in one day, and it's so very, very tired in the end of the day. So some small things are slipping away. But Beth is always on her post, and she is always very careful, very concentrated, and she not only looking for the mistakes and small things, but main thing, she is looking that the post is done accordance with the legal demands, and she looks for other things I even don't know. And she is really tremendous in details. She will not miss anything, and she was always on the top. And helps everyone to do the best for the job. Before the post appears on the blog, the team also, other members of the team, work on adding links to the post. It links maybe appear in the text under the particular words of the text to lead the reader to the another post or material which supports that particular topic. Or another links is for the lessons, recorded lessons which are posted in the blog daily, or probably to the another articles or any supporting materials on which this post was created and was talking about. This is very important that we always do posts based on the Raf's materials or on the another materials which Raf discussed in his interviews or his articles or something. It's always based on a real material which is present somewhere else in the on the blog. What else is so after that post is finally scheduled, approved, and posted. And you see it's on the blog, it's ready for you to work. But our work is not yet completed. We take a record of every blog, who did what for that blog, and we put it in the archive with all names, with all times, with all dates, all details related to that material, to that work done by team members, many of us. And we put the names, we are responsible for our work. And these materials are kept for years. We have many years of the blog. I personally work approximately, I think, 15 to 16 years on the blog, and always, almost every day, and trying to be faithful, to be on time, working with the team. Do not support our team and help. We help everybody in our team. And it's all about our work, our teamwork. And thank you very much for your attention. Iva, back to you.
Sorry, before I would like to add, can you imagine how Beth's Russian language is improved during all the years, and how she is good reader in Russian and sure in English for sure. Please, Iva.
Спасибо. Iva, thank you guys. That's so great. That's a lot of work. No wonder, Beth, they are so happy to have you as their leader. You do so much to help. I was going to say a lot of words. I will say that after last month that we did the award ceremony, I got some emails. Wanted to know why I didn't recognize Beth. I was like, oh, I forgot. Sorry. You were very busy. I was very busy. And then, yes. So now we're doing that with today. I was going to say a lot of things, but they already said them. They said how great you are, how much support you give them, how much encouragement. I will say what Debbie said about you, though. She sees you as the reason for her strength. And so she also sees the entire team as that, too. And she says specifically, you are my first friend in BB, her first friend in BB. Now you are in her heart forever. Beautiful words from someone that you support. So they chose they chose in a matter of, I don't know, look like minutes, an award for you. And the award is the Big League Awards. I mean, I put it back to them since they wanted you to have an award, because really the team should be the one who decides it. And right away they decided unanimously. It appears, I don't know, I wasn't part of that, the voting, But they wanted to give you the Big League Award. Somebody else says, Vesna said you were her first boss, the best, right there in the chat. So what this award does is recognizes you as being top level, major league, and the end all be all in project management. And your leadership and support offers the greatest opportunity for everyone, every team member to achieve success. So look, check your email. I'm sending it now. Thank you for your work. Thank you all for your hard work. Beautiful. Can't get better.
Wow. Thanks so much for sharing, ladies, and congratulations, Beth. And now for our practical work in the tens. Chaim?
Yes. Hello, everyone. And I'll just join what the friends here said. Beth is indeed a powerhouse. I've been working with her over the past several weeks on the community project, and she is indeed a powerhouse. And she's the boss of many more people. Okay, so we're back to discussing the practical work in the 10 with all the issues that come up and all the challenges and questions and uncertainties and all the things that accompany us on our spiritual path, which are basically made of piling up uncertainties until we discover the creator, and then we're certain, hopefully. So before I begin, I just want to remind everyone, please switch on your question marks, your hands, or whatever, so we know you have questions, okay? And if you didn't get time you weren't given time to ask, then please send them either personally or to the Yarvut team, and we will try to answer them either the following week or in person. Okay? So this week's topic is maintaining focus on the intention during meetings as opposed to casual conversations, right? We are deliberately not avoiding any minds in this item here. We want to bring up all the things that we know tens tackle, because the only way to solve them is to bring them out to the light and talk about them and resolve them. So one of the things that often comes up in discussions and arguments and or conflicts within tens is when and how should we discuss worldly matters, if at all? So before we get into that, let's read something from, let's see, I picked 2 excerpts this time. Let's take Rabash because he's very practical. No, let's take Ma'ov Hashemesh because he's both beautiful and practical. So I'm picking him. So this is from Ma'ov Hashemesh. He says this: the essence of the assembly is for everyone to be one unity and for all to seek but one purpose, to find the Creator. In every 10, there is the Shekhinah, divinity. Thus, each one should assemble with his friend and come to him to hear from him a word about the work of the Creator and how to find the Creator. He should annul before his friend, and his friend should do the same toward him. And so should everyone do. Then, when the assembly is with this intention, then the Creator approaches them, and he is with them, and great mercies and good and revealed kindness will be extended over the assembly of Israel. And now I'll switch to Rabash and take only the second paragraph that I was going to read, because he is really practical. And he says this about the assembly that Maov Hashemesh was talking about, and Rabash was talking about as well. This is this Rabash. However, there is a condition, yes, for the assembly to be able to reveal to them the Shekhinah. When they gather, each of them should think that he has now come for the purpose of annulling self-love. It means that he will not consider how to satisfy his will to receive now, but will think as much as possible only of the love of others. This is the only way to acquire the desire and the need to acquire a new quality called the will to bestow. Okay? So, maintaining the intention during the assembly, during the meeting, is crucial in order to make it a successful meeting. And by successful, I mean something that brought us closer to the Creator than before we went into the meeting. But does that mean that we should not discuss any worldly matters? That we should discuss only, reading excerpts and scrutinizing spiritual discernments and talking about the lesson? The lowest we will get to is discussing our next effort in dissemination, something like that. Or should we also ask friends, how are you? How is your new job coming along? Is your kid well already? Things like that. Very mundane stuff. Does that deviate us from the goal? Does that distract us? Or is it part of our spiritual path? These are serious questions because friends argue about that. I'll leave it open for now and just take a question here from my buddy Bill Becker, and hopefully I'll be able to use his question to answer that one as well. Go ahead, Bill.
My brother from another mother, whom I love like no other. Actually, my question, to answer your question, yes, you should. How else are you going to be able to get to know the other people in your 10 on a very personal level to where you can build that connection that exists between us? Now, should it get carried away into all the other garbage going on? No. But knowing how's Baruch doing? How's your wife doing? Those are questions we do need to ask each other on a regular basis, because most of us don't like talking about it, period. We want to be quiet. We want to be silent. We want to sit back in the realms and just do our little thing and let everything else go by. But that doesn't get us any closer to the true connection that we're looking for. My actual question, it's a little bit off topic. Congress is coming up. We in Florida need the material for the prayer that they're going to use, and we need a rough house schedule that BB is going to follow in Israel.
Bill, it is way off topic, and please send it in person and we'll answer that. Okay.
I have sent it in twice. I sent it into the main number that everybody gives us, and I have asked the people that are in charge of the
Bill,
Florida group.
Bill, send it in person. Okay.
To you? Okay. Okay.
So should I, Bill brought up a question, should I get to know my friends, my friends' personal lives? I'm here to connect with the Creator through them. Does that mean I have to know what's going on in their personal lives? How will that get me closer to the Creator? Rabash actually has a whole article about it. And Rabash's answer is very conclusive that yes, because when you love someone, if you decide that you're only taking this part of the person's life, and not that part, then you don't really love that person. It's very utilitarian, it's very selfish. Basically, you're only taking what you need. And it really means you don't really care. Because when you care about someone, you care about everything about them. Anyone who has been close to Rav, not necessarily from Bnei Baruch in Petach Tikva, but friends from Bnei Baruch overseas, who's worked with Rav, know how much he cares and asks and discusses their personal lives. For him, that's part of the work. That's part of getting closer. And it's part of opening them up to him. It allows them to be more receptive to what he wants to give. So if we take an example from Rav and from what Rabash writes, then the answer is absolutely yes. But to what extent? To what extent? Because we can go on talking about ourselves forever. There's no topic we like better than discussing ourselves, right? So there needs to be a limit, obviously. Now that's tricky, to be honest. It takes experience to know when to draw the line. Because I want to know that my friend is able to focus on the most important thing. And that is life's purpose. Our path, revealing the Creator. And if his kid is sick, then my friend cannot be 100% with the 10, with the lesson, with what's going on. His heart is occupied. So, trouble shared is a trouble halved, right? So if I can make him feel like I'm sharing his problem, and ideally, I really should feel this way, then I can really help my friend feel relieved and be able to focus better on what is important and what, in the end, makes everything better. We know that. But that's not the point. The point is not to get some sort of a worldly benefit from this. But what I can do to help my friend feel better and be able to concentrate more strongly on the goal, I do that. And when it crosses that line, then I have that's where it becomes either a waste of time or non-constructive, or sometimes even an obstruction. So you need to be really careful, both sides. The friend who asks about the friend who needs my attention, and the friend who brings a personal problem. Some tens keep it all in the same chat. Some tens keep separate chats for that. Some tens don't have any chats, don't allow any worldly matters. these are technical issues. What's important is to remember the principle. And the principle is that it's beneficial to bring your personal problems to the 10 only to the extent that sharing them will help you concentrate better on the goal, will strengthen you on the path, and will allow them to express love of friends, because that's their spiritual work, the friend's spiritual work, right? The friend's corporeality is my spirituality. We even know that that expression. So if we keep this in mind, this principle, we will be fine. And then it doesn't matter how we do it technically, as long as we keep the conversation within that boundary. Okay, questions? There was Joe before. You don't have a question mark anymore, or you do? You still want to ask that?
Well, no, you
Was it
answered.
from last week?
No, it's from today. In the lesson before this with Avihu and Mushi Sinilevich, there was the alarms going off, and it was just a friend and I in the Arvut room. And I didn't know how long the alarm was going on, so I struck up a conversation with him. I didn't know he's living in Italy now with his new wife, and I didn't know any details, what's going on. And
Joe, right?
yeah, so we had a nice talk. But before you just explained all of this, I wondered if that was actually the correct thing to do. But
So
we came
now you know.
that they felt closer with him.
Great.
So that was it.
Good use of the time. Amanda.
Oh, I had put my hand down, but you sort of answered it. But this comes up sometimes in workshops when they ask for a personal response. You know, it's embedded in the workshop. It's not exactly, you know, talking about personal issues, but it feels similar, because to what extent do you share something personal, and then to what extent do you annul yourself and try to lose yourself altogether because it's a workshop and find the center? I don't know if you can speak to that.
You can maintain the same principle. I want to share what I know will contribute to my 10 spiritually. Sometimes it can be a big problem. Sometimes friends, or even worse, the children of friends have serious illnesses. They don't hide it from the 10, they don't hide it from the whole society. They share it, and the whole society gathers around them and embraces them. Sometimes it remains within the confines of the 10, and sometimes it spreads everywhere. But the friends take it to a purposeful place. And that helps the family that is in distress to take it to a more purposeful place, because at such times there really is nothing you can focus on other than your child's illness. So anything can be of spiritual benefit as long as it is used for that purpose. Okay, and then you'll feel how much to expose and how much to keep to yourself. Okay. Maria?
Thank you for taking my question. Still with this topic, that what is allowed and what is to be encouraged for meetings in the 10. What about birthdays, for example? Not long ago, one person in I-10 had her birthday, and my idea was, you know, to turn it into a Kabbalistic event, but kind of a Yeshivat Haderot, interconnected, make it a little bit more pleasant, so to say, not that, but still on the right on target. And invited some other girls, another 10, who they are in connections with. And I got an answer that this is not something Kabbalistic at all. Rav is not, even Rav is not celebrated on his birthday. So they refrained from coming. So I was a little bit
Yeah,
flabbergasted.
so what should we do with birthdays? Okay.
And
Like I said,
l'chaim, no more.
what?
Just l'chaim, I mean, like in Yeshivat Hadarot, but very
Yeah.
Kabbalistic. We were reading Kabbalistic things.
Yeah, look, birthday is a sensitive topic to some people. They care about that, and if it's ignored, then they feel offended.
Yeah.
And if you've offended them, then you didn't bring them any closer, you only drove them away from you, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want to ignore it, because the idea is to get closer, not to get further away. But then some people say, well, it's not Kabbalistic. Rav doesn't celebrate it, which is true. And he also said that in the past, Kabbalists never celebrated birthdays. On the contrary, in Kabbalah, we celebrate a person's death, not when he was born, but when he died. Because that's when he ascended to a higher level. So which is the right thing to do? Again, there is no one answer fits all. If everyone has this Kabbalistic view, then just ignore birthdays altogether. But if someone is very touchy about it and it hurts her, you know, that her friends ignore her birthday, then give her a birthday party, you know, say, l'chaim, we're happy with that you're with us. We're happy that the Creator gave you to our tent, ta-ta-ti-ta-ta-ta. She'll feel good. Everyone will have a l'chaim, eat something, drink something in. That's the end of it. Take it to a purposeful place and don't make a big deal out of anything. It can all be good as long as you take it to a purposeful place. Okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Krish.
We all understand that it's good to share with the friends what's happening with you, which prevents you to be on the path, to put more efforts. There's no question about that. But what is challenging is how to dose and how to balance the real help. Just 3 real quick scenarios. Number 1, friend lose the job. It could take weeks, and you know how, and you could involve, you know, all your contacts and help him. It takes time. Second scenario, like friends is a doctor. Everyone has health issues. Friends start asking, and it's going to be his part-time job to help friends. Third scenario, the last one, like if the friend is IT person and he helping to fix computers on some issues with performance, etc., etc. So
I got you.
it's good, but how to balance the help?
I got you. Tricky. Indeed. First of all, regarding loss of jobs, since we're largely in virtual tens, there's usually very little we can do other than pray for the friend. Sometimes there can be greater efforts in that, and Rav explicitly said that if you can help the friend get a new job, help the friend. But again, to what extent? There is an extent. There is an extent. It's hard to say what is the extent? Guys, if you are not, and all of these scenarios that you brought up are serious scenarios. And this is why no 10 should have to deal with problems they cannot solve by themselves. And I have to finish in a minute. So I'm not going to take any more questions after that. Sorry, Gary. Save it for last week, okay? I'll send it. If a situation comes up where either friends start asking friends for favors related to their profession, not hiring their expertise and paying for that, but asking for favors, free treatment and things like that, or free fix my computer for free or things like that. When it gets to a point where it causes discomfort or an obstruction in the 10, that's when the 10 does not, and thank you for the question, Grisha, that's when the 10 should not deal with the situation on its own. Okay? That's why we have the Arvut team. That's why we have the heads of languages. Okay? All 10s at some point deal with these issues. Okay? And rarely are the 10s able to handle it on their own. It usually ends up in a blast, and either they survive it or they don't. And the 10 disperses, or a person leaves, or something bad happens, which shouldn't. Usually these things can be resolved if the 10 approaches the Arvut team on time before things get really, really bad. Okay, and this is where I have to finish. Joe, do you still need me to answer your question from 2 weeks ago?
If you have time, I'd like to hear it.
I'll do it in person. Okay, because now I really have to finish because we have Mushi coming up in 2 minutes. So until next week, guys, please send your questions and we'll see you then.
Thanks, Chaim, for your continuing advice. And thanks to all of you for joining us this week. Be sure to join the World CLI on the Arvut system next for an update from our organization's CEO. See you next time. Vesna?
Teach me how to dance with you. Teach me how to listen, let your words come through. Show me how to give for you. Show me how to live like there's only you. Through the fire, hand in hand, we melt the ice away. Getting higher, closer, closer, lighting up the way. Together in one voice, together in one song, all together in one dance, together as one. Enséñame a bailar, bailar junto a ti. Enséñame a escuchar que tu voz entre mí. Enséñame a darte a ti. Enséñame a vivir solo en ti. Con el fuego, mano a mano, el hielo desharán. Elevando, uniéndose el camino alumbrará. Unidos con una voz, unidos en una canción, unidos bailando, unidos amor.
Behind.